Hey Aries, welcome to your reading today. We are going to be looking at your December predictions. So we're going to take a look at kind of what you're dealing with now, or the kind of situation you're currently finding yourself in, and then your highest timeline or your highest outcome from where you're at, and or you're just your highest ideal, and then we're going to see how you can get there, so practical steps in getting there. All right, so let's begin. So Aries, please, can we see what's going on currently with Aries? What is happening with Aries at the moment? 12 Aries guides, can you please let me in on what's going on with our Aries friends? All right. Okay, you have the circle. This is the Chariot. You have the King of Swords with the Crown of, the Crown of Water, so the King of Cups. And then you have the Six of Water, which is the Six of Cups. And one more card for us here, Spirit. Thank you. And then finally you have Beltane, which is the Lover's card. Okay, my apologies, guys. This is not the Chariot. This is the Hanged Man. And this card talks about creating a safe space or a sacred space for what you do. And you have the King of Cups here, which is depicted as the Crown of Water, and she's keeping her emotions to herself. She's bottled them up, and she's keeping them tight to her chest. Now we have the Six of Water here as well, which talks about this particular one is this is the god of arts and creativity. And so this is telling you, or this is saying that right now you're currently creating a safe space. And if not, that's what you should probably be focusing on. Creating a safe space to express your emotions and your creativity. And you have the Lovers here as well. So, I mean, maybe that's a safe space for you and your lover. This could be creating kind of maybe a separation space between, your work and love. But I really feel like this is creating a safe space so that you feel safe with your lover or loved ones or friendships, so that you can let out your emotions, so that you can unbottle these emotions. Maybe there's certain things that you keep held back or held in. And I feel once you release these, it's like gonna even help you creatively, because I feel like you have a deep creative ability here, but maybe you hold back in certain ways emotionally, and so that also affects your creativity. So because you're holding back in maybe, certain relationships, or not sharing how you feel on certain things or whatever, and maybe you do that in the same with your artwork or your creative passions. What is it that you do that you love? This is all about creating a safe space so that you may do that, so that you feel safe enough to release these things, to express them. And so if that means, creating your own space in the morning for meditation, for kind of a sacred practice for yourself, or so something where like it's a practice that maybe you have to dance in the mirror or whatever it is, something that shakes up these emotions. So think about like having it's like you have this bottle and it has all of these emotions like a soda or something, and you're just keeping them bottled. But the more that you shake it, it's gonna build up and build up, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting here is kind of learning how to release these emotions in a creative way, possibly as well. It's like maybe you don't feel comfortable communicating them to someone or to people or to whatever, but this is like telling you to create a space in which you can express those things creatively, and that will help in turn help your relationships also, in a massive way. They will balance them out better. You'll be able to be more clear and open and honest. So yeah, this is saying, so yeah, if that's like having your own little studio space, even if it's in the corner of your house, maybe a space just for yourself, so that you can let loose a little bit, or do something different, do something that will release these emotions for you, creatively in a nice, safe environment. So I'm going to clarify these messages. And yeah, I really do feel like yoga, meditation, these kind of practices are really great for emotional releases. And you can be silly and do those things in the privacy of your own space or room or whatever. And that will even in turn help your creativity, help your relationships huge, because you've been able to give this huge emotional release in the morning, to kind of let out these frustrations. I particularly like Qigong because there's this particular practice in Qigong which I really like, and you sigh. So you like put your arms up and you go, and it feels quite fantastic. And also it makes you laugh. It starts to make you laugh because you're like, oh, these sighs sound funny, and like, yeah, it's just a great fucking practice. So anyway, so let's clarify here. So the Hangman. Okay. These cards fell. Let me pick those up. Okay, so you have the Six of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So, yes, creating a safe space for yourself. Creating a space, and maybe that's what you're doing now, where you can do what you do. Be a master at work. Create what you create. Put in the work. It's like giving yourself the time and the respect that you need in order to make your work as as beautiful and as great as you want it to be. This I also have a feeling this is like respecting your, sorry, there's something on the card. Respecting your inner child and their need, to express themselves creatively. And I feel like this has a lot to do with, it could be a bottled up inner child. You're not letting yourself play, or you're not letting yourself, express to the fullest extent of what your inner child would like to do. And maybe that's kind of what you're in the space of realizing and of putting into practice, is that like my inner child needs a safe space in order to come out and play and to feel seen and to feel heard and to be listened to and, not bottled up, let's say. Okay, so let me get this King of Cups here. Clarify the king. Yes. Oh, yes. This is saying, so I don't usually read reversals, but this is giving me a very distinct message, and so I'm going to leave it as is. And because it backs up what I was saying, is that you're carrying too much responsibility, or there's something heavy weighing on you, and so you're not able to feel. Okay, so let's say this is your adult self, this is your adult self, right? This is your child self, or this is your mind, and this is your emotional self. This is your brain, this is your heart. This is your, just mind, these are your emotions, right? You are feeding one a lot more than the other. You're feeding one aspect of yourself here, one dog here, and the other is going out without getting the balanced appreciation or the, equal kind of attention, energy that it is craving, that it needs, right? It's because you're carrying an emotional load here, or a big load on yourself, where maybe you feel like, oh, well, my mind is where I need most of the work, or it's like my heart can get dealt with later, or the emotions can get dealt with later. But right now I need to carry all this stuff. Right now I need to, bring all this stuff up into a place where I like it, or I need to deal with all these things on my mind, or I need to get myself to a certain place before I can relax and finally let this thing out. And it's like, no. You have to turn this around. You have to feed this one in order to get to the place you want. You have to allow the emotion to be released, to come out. You have to put these sticks down because you're carrying way too much. It's like you don't need to carry all this. If you would just balance this out a little bit, it wouldn't feel so heavy and imbalanced. So there's one that's like you're putting way too much weight on here, and the other you're totally starving. So it's saying you need to even it out a little more and allow your emotional self to be released. Let it out to play a little bit. Give it some time in the sunshine. And it'll feel a lot lighter on yourself. You'll feel like you don't have to carry this big weight of shit, because when you release it, it's like you're letting some of the steam out of this bottle here, and it's not going to feel so heavy and so weighted. It's because you need to balance head and heart here, and not just make one do all of the heavy lifting, because that will just burn you out, and that will make an imbalance even result in your work, in your creativity, in your relationships. And it's like, well, I have to do all this because I don't feel comfortable. I can't let this emotion out yet, or I can't release this part of me yet because I just don't feel safe, or because I feel like I have to. It's like, look, by doing this, by giving your heart, your emotions more time out in the sun to be expressed, to be listened to be regarded, everything else is going to get easier. Everything else is going to work out properly. But that's a big practice that you have to focus on right now. It's going to reflect in your relationships. It's going to reflect in your artwork, in your creativity, in your work. And it's like, it's not like doing this will then give you, it's like, no, that's not how it works. It's like, this is going to help you get there. Doing this is not going to help you get there. It'll help you you'll get halfway there, and then you'll get burnt out, and then you'll wonder why you can't get there. And it's because you're not evening the weight distribution out. That's why. Okay, so so you need to honor your emotions here. Let them out of the bottle. They're very much wanting to be heard, to be listened to be given the mic, if you will, and I find you'll find a lot more ease comes into your life if you do this. Okay, so Six of Cups. So you have the Six of Cups twice. I just want to know that. Which is the card of our inner child? Yeah, Strength. Okay. Ten of Cups. Yeah, baby. So, Strength is a card of discipline. It is a card of, you know, sacrificing something in the moment in order to get a bigger goal accomplished or something else in the future. Okay, so I'll do this in order. We had Strength here. We had the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the High Priestess. So yeah, using your strength to listen to your emotions, listen to your deep intuitive signals, because they are trying to show themselves to you, will give you a much faster route to your ultimate happiness, fulfillment, joy, the happy relationship, the happy life, you know, having it all, feeling fulfilled, feeling so grateful that I've accomplished what I, you know, wanted to accomplish, that I have a, you know, a very happy home life. I'm very satisfied in my life. So, yes, this is saying using your strength because you're very strong, and I feel that's why you maybe have kept so much emotion bottled or hidden away, because maybe it was shown to you that it was a weakness or something like that, but it's not at all. To be, you know, to show your vulnerable side is very much strength. It's very courageous. And that's what this wants to tell you, is that it's like, this is the next step into your internal work. Like, this girl has overcome this beast. And for you, maybe the beast is your emotional self. It's like this thing that I'm not sure about, that I'm scared to let out because I don't know what it'll say. I don't know what it'll do. I don't know if it'll, you know, lick someone's crotch or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's this lion, because it respects her, because she tamed it, because she overcame it. She wasn't scared or fearful of it. She, you know, gave it the respect that it needed and deserved. And now they work together in unison. And she is completely balanced. And, you know, he is her devout pet now. And so that's what your emotions can be. They don't have to be this wild beast. You know, you can control them. And I feel like that's what this is saying is, you know, you have a deep intuitive wisdom. You have very deep intuitive emotional intelligence. And once that is like realized and kind of grasped and worked with more, then yeah, you will be charging towards the rainbow, towards an abundance of happiness, success, fulfillment. Okay. And I feel like that really is attached to your creative projects. It's really going to catapult you into such a fast, like, I mean, you have the Knight of Swords here. It's the fastest knight. It's like really catapulting you into creative success and into just feeling satisfied within your creative world, not just relationships, but in your, like your work world, right? Okay, so Lovers. Okay, yeah. Okay. Do you see this? It will help you see clearly all the things in your relationship that were working. So it's going to help you see very clearly, okay, if I just like open up about this, it'll really help my relationship blossom. Like the Seven of Pentacles here, he's looking at his yield and wondering, what should I do better next time? What can I improve here that will make my yield even better next year, right? It's like, do I need more soil? Do I need more water? Do I need more fertilizer? That kind of thing. So it's like he does have a blossoming garden, no doubt, but he's trying to improve on his garden, right? So that will allow you to see exactly what needs improvement, or maybe you're starting to see that opening up your emotion will, really improve upon your relationship. You have the Lovers and you have the Two of Cups. I mean, if this is not a romantic partnership, this is a very, very close relationship in your life. It's like seeing very clearly now that, okay, I know, I just have to open this up. And then it allow you, once you start opening those things up, it really will open up a lot of other things where it's like, oh, okay. Then you can identify why that was happening and where that came from and how to fix that now. It's like, oh, okay, if I just communicate this, in a way that will help me. Okay. So that is I guess that's what's going on with you at this moment, which, that's great. It's always great in these learning lessons to find out, what we need more of and what we don't. That's how we learn, that's how we grow, and that's how we get better. Okay, so let's move on to the highest outcome. If we continue on our highest path, if we open up, where does that take us? Okay, what's the highest outcome here for Aries? If they start opening up their emotions. And things are never as scary as they seem on the outside. Like, we build things up to such large degrees in our mind, and we say them out loud and then get like no reaction. You're like, oh, well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Okay. All right. Okay, we got 4. Perfect. Okay. So your highest outcome, if you open up your emotions, if you give your emotions the same amount of time you give your mental state, if you balance this out a little more, even listening to your own emotions, sharing your emotions, letting them out in a silly way, in a kid-like way, I really feel like that's a big thing. So whether that's just, dancing, going out dancing, going to the park, playing Frisbee, whatever your kid thing is, that is kind of your key here to kind of opening up that door and just, even do it by yourself. I love dancing by myself. It's where I can get the silliest, So your highest outcome, again, you have the 10 of Cups, okay? This is the 10 of Cups. Obviously, it looks very different from the original version. But yes, this is just saying there was a huge potential here, a massive potential, and it is up to you whether or not you fulfill this potential. We have the 3 of Air, which is the 3 of Swords, which is overcoming hardship, learning the lessons of our past, of our shortcomings, in order to get to the 10 of Cups. Looking at ourselves in the mirror, seeing ourselves for, who we could be, what we could improve on. And we have Samhain, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I think that's what we call Halloween, Samhain or something. Maybe not. Maybe I'm totally off here. But this is the Moon card. And there's just a bunch of ghouls. The Moon card plays on our subconscious. That's our subconscious emotions, our subconscious fears, right? It's like there's all these ghouls passing over the moon, and it's like very unknown, very mysterious. And then we have the elemental of air, the mind, the thinking. Interesting. So your highest outcome here is you being able to, yes, use your mind to learn lessons and to overcome problems, and use it, because I feel like your mind is very strong. You use it very well and to a high degree, but I feel like a lot of the emotional side is still mysterious to you, still unknown. And so this is saying your highest outcome is you being able to, use your mind in unison with your heart and emotion to navigate in unknown waters, to navigate when things aren't always known. They're not always set in stone. You can't always figure things out with your mind. So you're going to have to rely on your instincts, on your heart, on your emotions sometimes, to trust that even when you're in an unknown time, when you can't figure it out with your mind, you can't map out this thing out because I've never been here. This is like when you're in unknown territory, so you can just go with the flow. It's like our mind doesn't help us in those situations because we've never been there. We can't figure it out. We can't control anything. We can't predict anything. You have to let it go. You have to use your instincts. You have to use your heart, your emotions, your gut, your intuition. I was going to say intuitive intuition, okay? So, and you will find yourself being much, much happier, much easier to navigate through life. You'll find much more joy in life that way if you can drop some of the mind. Sometimes it's very good. Sometimes it's very good because it helps us see ourselves. It helps us break ourselves down and what's the word I'm looking for? Pick ourselves apart. That's not the word I was looking for, but that's the one I'm going to use because I failed to come up with a better word. So it helps us, really look at ourselves and pick ourselves apart, okay? My mind isn't working right now. So, and it's going to take you very far, no doubt, and you're very smart, and that's going to take you very far as well. But the other parts of us that need to just be able to go into something unknown, go into something trusting, knowing that we are being led on our path, even when the outside may not look like it. Outside might look, oh, I'm scared, oh, I'm fearful because I've never experienced this before. There's a bunch of things that I don't know about here, and so that makes me scared. And that's okay, but don't let that stop you. And this is saying your highest outcome is you going to be able to navigate in these unknown territory, which will benefit you greatly. And you need to be able to navigate these things without letting the fear stop you and come in and, stop you from getting there. So you will find great, great joy and much happiness, much freedom in doing this. Okay, so we are going to clarify here. All right, okay, that one wanted to come out, so I'm going to take it. And of course, it's the Emperor. It is you, your card. So yes, you will find yourself in a much better position. You will find yourself as a much better leader in your own life, but also maybe you run a business or, you have a family, and it'll just create you into a more established, balanced version of yourself, the highest version of yourself, you could say. The Emperor, is your card. And so that could be the highest manifestation of you, right? The very balanced, but also the Emperor, he doesn't follow, rules per se. He doesn't because I read it in a book, that's how I'm going to do it. He has to navigate situations and problems in the moment with his gut as well. It's like he has to take things that happen. And sometimes a book or something we've read or learned is not going to help us in this situation. We have to listen to our gut And that is what is going to guide us the best. And so this is just saying to be a very balanced leader, fair, and just. Okay. I'm just going to see if there's anything else. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So we have the Five of Pentacles reversed, okay? Temperance, Queen of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Star. This is going to allow you to recognize when there's feelings of lack or, you know, these kind of doubts or fears, and to transmute them, to stand in your power, to know that you have the gift, that you have trust in yourself. And there's no emotion here, because the Five of Pentacles can talk about an emotion of feeling anxiety, left out in the cold. You know, it's a card of like not bringing attention to your weaknesses, right? But I mean, it's in the reverse. So you're balancing this out. You're balancing this emotion out. And I feel like this is saying, like, if you release your emotions, it's not just going to be all sad and shitty, you know? It's like, it's not just going to bury you into a hole of depression. It's actually going to allow you to look at them, to look at yourself in a new way, where you're like, I mean, the Queen of Wands is also like a card of yours because it's the Queen of Fire, right? You are a fire sign. So she is the creative queen. She is the hot ass queen. And she knows what's good. She knows, but she's balanced within her emotions and with her intelligent self. So she also knows she's the shit. But she still knows that, even if she has like downer emotions, or like, if we have insecurities, let's say, the only way to fix these insecurities is to look at them, and then we can change them, and then we can catch them, and then we can replace them with new thoughts. And that's what this is saying, is that you hold the key to your success, to your star, to your dream. You are embodying, and you will be embodying, this is your highest timeline, so you will be embodying your creativity. What you do creatively will make you a lot of money, and it'll make you maybe well known as well. Could make you, you know, well known in certain circles, but you need to be able to balance your emotions. Look at even the hard emotions, even the tough ones, the ones that are difficult, the ones that, you know, are our most kind of sensitive emotions about ourselves, or thoughts about ourselves. And we need to you know, switch them up, but we need to recognize them first and look at them. Okay. Three of Swords. Yes, this is the internal work. This is looking at what hurts you, what brings you down, what makes maybe your heart hurt, or makes you disappointed, or about yourself, or about the world, or, you know, about your relationships in your life. And you need to work on those. You need to do some self-work, do some mirror work. I mean, what is it about yourself that you need to work on? Are there any behaviors that you think you could change? And this is your highest outcome. So this is you being able to work on yourself at an easier pace, or in an easier way, where it's like, it's no problem for me now to look at myself and to see a behavior or a pattern that I need to improve on, or I need to, you know, which we all do that. And so this is just giving a critical eye to ourselves, and knowing that we can improve upon them, and making you your best creation, your biggest work of art, where it's like, don't let something make you go crazy. Just, you know, you can change it, work on it at any time. The Moon. Yeah, the Hierophant. Listen to your higher guidance, your higher self. This is what's always trying to guide you when you don't know what to do. This is listening to, this is a card of a wise counsel, but this is also my card of your higher self, your higher guidance. This is you in your highest timeline, right? You being able to navigate these deep waters, these unknown territories, maybe even of your emotional self, but with a very wise outlook, with knowing that this is for your highest good, mastering these subconscious fears, emotions, things that we're afraid to look at, and then you master them, and then you become a even highly spiritual version of yourself, where you're just a wiser, better off person, right? Okay, the elemental of air here. Yeah, this is saying like being in your head is not always going to bring you to victory. Always thinking of every possible outcome, every possible solution won't always bring the best outcome. Okay? You can't be all mind. You can't always think of every possibility or try to think of every possibility. Sometimes you just got to go in. You just got to go in and trust and do it. And that's what will turn this around. This is saying you need to balance out mind and heart, not just come up with, trying to plan every single thing out, or trying to come up with every single outcome or how this is going to go, or figuring it all out. It's not always going to bring you success. So this is just saying it'll be better off to look at both sides of the coin here, to allow both things to come in, and to discern when it's right for your mind to figure something out, or your heart to just go into something and allow your trust, your higher self to guide you, your gut. It doesn't even have to be a higher self, like it's not coming from outside of you or anything like that. It's coming from a deep feeling within your gut, and also a deep trust that you can do it, that you can figure this out, that you can in the moment you'll be all right. You have the wisdom, you have the knowledge to figure things out in a spontaneous way. Okay. So let's get some advice. So can we please get some advice here for Aries? Advice for Aries, please. You have the 10 of air, which is the 10 of swords. This 10 of swords, is a little different because this one depicts a tarot reading, right? She has every ace laid down here, and she's holding up the card of this card. So it's like this infinite loop of tarot cards, really. She has every element here. She has every opportunity, every possibility. This is written in the cards for her. This is within her not only her reach, but this is like part of why she came here and what she's here to accomplish. So this is just saying, don't have fear. This is totally part of your blueprint here. You're on the right path, and you never have to be scared that you're not. It's like it's all part of it, right? The lessons, the mistakes. Okay, then we have the Hanged Man again. Maiden of Earth. Wow, and you have the Six of Water again. So this is a Page of Pentacles. So yeah, I would say your biggest advice here is to just trust and know that you are being guided in the best way. Like you have nothing to worry about, so you can allow yourself to have fun. You can allow yourself, your childlike self, to come out and to play and to get creative and to, you know, giggle and to do silly stuff. It's like you can, that's what it's kind of calling on you to do here, is that like you don't have to worry about, you know, charging and taking control and like put, you know, steering the ship so hard. This is just saying the more fun you have, the better this will be, the more, because it's going to happen anyways. Things are going to happen how they're going to happen. So have more fun, and it'll actually make your art and your creative experience and just your experience on earth in general more enjoyable for you. Yeah, you'll get to experience life on a lighter side in just a better way. It's like you don't actually have to do much. You just have to have fun more. Yeah, that's what this is saying. It's like it's already, the things you're doing and accomplishing are already written in the stars for you. So you don't like carry too much, so you don't have to. Let your fun side out, let your emotional side out, let your childlike side out, and that will in turn allow you to have a lot more fun, a lot more better creative experiences, and just like, I think, more creative outcomes that you'll enjoy. And you'll have fun doing it. You'll have a lot more fun. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing for you, Aries. Thank you so much for coming to your reading today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it and resonated. I hope to see you on the next reading. And yeah, please leave me a comment on what's going on with you guys. I know you're up to some really big creative projects, and I think I know they're going to be amazing. And I know if you just allow your childlike self to come out a little more, it'll even make it more enjoyable for you. So that is amazing. And thank you so much again. I hope to see you on the next one. All of my love, you guys. Peace.